We'll start today on our backs. Let's have the bottoms of the feet together and the knees out to the side. And you can have your arms resting out on the ground, or if you prefer, resting on your thighs, just to add that suggestion of letting go. And the eyes can close if that feels okay to you. Gathering your attention, bringing it to your breath. Expanding the breath in the belly and the pelvis. Expanding the breath from the belly up into the ribs. And further expanding from the belly to the ribs to the chest. And then if your hands are on your thighs, release them. And then place the feet on the ground a little wider than hip width apart and let the knees come together. Separate the knees and lift the feet to the height of the knees. And then just move the knees toward you, toward your face a little bit. And notice how that kind of tilts the tailbone up and flattens the low back on the ground. You see that? Maybe go back to where it was. Feel the sacrum, feel the curve of the low back. And then just bring the knees in toward your face a little and just see how that tilts it and really lets the low back flatten onto the ground. Now we're going to try to preserve that flatness on the ground as we lower one foot at a time. When you lower your foot, lower it by hinging at the hip, not by bending the knee any more than it already was. And we'll take turns going from side to side, and you're really pulling your abdominal muscles down to the floor to keep that lower back pressed flat into the ground. Are you coordinating the movement with the breath? I didn't ask you to. I'm just wondering if you find that you're doing that automatically, perhaps out of habit or just because the body feels like it would be helpful. Be careful that you're not bending your knee at all when you're lowering, that you're keeping the same angle between the thigh and the shin. Mhm. Maybe we'll do one more on each side. And then hug the knees to the chest. Breathe deeply. Notice where the breath goes when the thighs maybe make less room in the belly. And then send the arms out to the side like a T. And we can keep the knees bent, or if you want to work harder, you can straighten them. And it's actually a continuum, so it doesn't have to be one or the other. It can be anywhere along the line from bend to straight to see what level of difficulty works for you. And we're just going to slowly lower the legs down to the right. You can turn your head to the left. And then don't touch down unless you feel like you're struggling a little bit too much and need the rest in between each side, then just give that to yourself. Turning your head away from your legs. Use your breath. Like for me, when I'm going down and I'm really getting to the part where it's challenging, my body automatically wants to take a deep, slow breath. But if it's not as automatic for you, do it intentionally. Be purposeful with your breathing. And try to have the legs out to the side, so not kind of just over to the side, but away from you, but kind of at a right angle to the body. One more on each side. And then come center. Hold the backs of your legs with your hands. And flex your feet and really push up through the heels and pull down through the toes. And then if you can, release your arms. And then bend the knees again. And rock yourself up to sitting, balancing on your sit bones. Hands will start behind the backs of the thighs. Pull the hands toward your chest so that you can lift your chest and pull your shoulders back and down. And then if you want, you can straighten the legs. If you want, you can send the arms forward. If you want, you can send the arms up to make it even harder. Keep lifting through the chest. And release the legs down, but keep the arms lifted. We'll do the same thing we did laying down. So flex the feet strongly, press down through the thighs, maybe even flex so much that the heels float off the ground. Lift tall through the crown of the head, lengthen the spine. Pull the shoulders down. Breathe. I think this is the most deceptive pose. If you look at it, it looks so easy, and maybe it is for you. For me, it's so hard. And then release the arms down. Bring the heels together, creating a square inside your legs. So again, right angles at the bends of the knees. You might want to pull the flesh of your buttocks back behind the sit bones. And we'll flex the feet. Inhale, reach up. Turn to the right and fold over. Press the right hand into the ground and sink back through your left hip. And then reach out through your left hand. And then drop the torso as you exhale. Just really sink. Feel the breath coming inside the shape that this posture creates. And make space with the breath. Inhale up, both arms lift. Exhale over the left side. Press into the left hand and sink back into the right sit bone. Reach out of the right hand, maybe walking the fingers across the floor. Deep breath in, getting up under those ribs. And then remembering to really let go of the weight of the body. And inhale, lift up, both arms reach. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Relax the arms, drop the head, bend the elbows. Breathe up the whole length of your back. Breathe long and full enough that it feels like your breath is actually moving your head away from your sit bones. Just like breathing into a balloon makes the balloon bigger. How big can you get on the inhale and how small can you get on the exhale? And roll yourself up. Reach up, inhale. Exhale, release down. Hands on the floor behind you. Plant your feet on the ground. Lift your hips. Bring the hands in front of you, coming into a squat. Turn the toes out so that the heels are touching. Great. Then we're gonna lift up as we exhale and drop down as we inhale. And we're gonna do it quickly. So as fast as you can, coordinating with the breath. Next time you come down, stay down. Slow your breathing back down. And then bring the knees to face forward again. Keep the toes curled under and bring the knees to the ground. And sit on your heels if you can. If it's too intense to sit on your heels, then you can be off your heels, but we're gonna try to distract ourselves from the intensity. And we're gonna do some breath of fire. So try to let your weight really come down on your feet with your toes curled under. And breath of fire pumps the abdomen in forcefully and rapidly on the exhale, and the inhale is a little bit more passive and it's rapid. Like so. Inhale, hold the breath. Lift up from your tailbone, squeeze up from your buttocks, your belly, lift, squeeze. Exhale, release the toes, come over into child's pose. Slowly lift yourself back up. Have your hands on the ground beside you on your fingertips. And keep the upper part of your feet on the ground. And then lift your knees. Press into your fingers to lift your knees. That's it. And then lift your chest and breathe. And release down. It's good to stretch the feet. Okay, curl the toes back under and come back into a squat. Drop the chin to the chest, straighten the legs, roll yourself up. Come all the way up, inhale. And exhale over. And then inhale up. Exhale over, and then you can go faster if you're able, or stay Slow if you prefer. Look back and arch your back a little on the inhale. And one more. And come up to standing. Relax the arms down, close the eyes. See how you feel. See what you feel. Slow the breath back down. Beautiful. Step your left foot all the way back. And then start with your heel on the ground. And press your left thigh all the way back so that you're really pinning the heel into the ground. And then tailbone forward like you're aiming it for your right knee. I want you to feel like your two knees are doing a tug of war, one pushing back and one pressing forward. And then also aim that left hip for the right knee so that your hips are surely squared to the front. Beautiful. Keep pressing back, back, back through that left thigh. And then breathe up into your chest. Let your chest lift. Bring the arms out to the side, bend the elbows. Send the elbows back. Feel the breath in the heart. Turn the palms to face each other. Feel the shoulder blades and bring them down your back. And then try to keep your chest open and your shoulder blades down and your shoulders down as you straighten the arms up. If you want, you can take your gaze up. Keep pressing forward through the right knee and back through the left knee. Lifting the heart with the breath. Beautiful. Straighten the front leg. Take a breath in. Exhale and fold forward over the front leg. And drop your left hip down. Scoop your lower belly in and up. Release your torso over your thigh. Relax your head. Relax your arms. If you happen to be flexible enough for the hands to touch down, it might be a disadvantage because you might be holding yourself back from gravity taking you all the way. So maybe just lighten the touch of your hands. Slow, deep breaths. And then bend your front knee so that your hands can come to the ground. And bring the right hand to the inside of the right foot so that the arm is up against the inside of the right knee. And then go ahead and take the left arm up and really try to rotate your belly and your ribs. And keep that right knee pressing back. Press back into the left foot, get long through that leg. And then press into the front foot, lifting yourself up like a windmill, and we'll take the left hand to the left leg and reach the right arm up. And then exhale and lean it back. Lower down into your stance. Inhale back up. And exhale, bringing the right arm to the right thigh, index finger to thumb, left arm overhead. Same thing, rolling the ribs to face up. Press back into your left foot and out to your left hand. And then bring that left hand behind your back. Take your gaze to the ground. Step a little bit forward with your back foot. And bring the right hand down to the ground, about 2 o'clock of the foot. And then lift the leg. And then we'll try to recreate that same action where we're rolling the ribs to face up. And then take the arm up. And if you feel like you have the balance to do so, take your gaze up to your left hand. Activate your left leg. Breathe into the whole body. And then bring the hands both down on either side of that front foot. Step the right foot back, come into downward dog. Pressing forward with the hands, back through the hips. Sink your ribs like you're trying to fold your pelvis onto your thighs. And press into the hands, sending your sit bones away from your hands. And walk or jump the feet up between the hands. Roll yourself up. Reaching up, inhale. Exhale the hands down. Stand for a moment. Take in the ground, sky, the distance between the two. As it's expressed in your body. And then with weight in the left foot, we'll step the right foot back. We'll have the heel down on the ground so the foot is at an angle to allow that. And then really, really push back into that right thigh, like you're straightening the leg as straight as it can be, hammering that heel into the ground. And then go forward with the left knee and bring the tailbone with you. So bringing the tailbone forward. And then right hip toward left knee, squaring the hips off to the front. Arms out to the side, bend the elbows and send the elbows back, emphasizing the chest and feel the breath in the chest. Palms turn to face in. Roll the shoulder blades down the back. Good. Keep the shoulders down, chest out. Slowly lift the arms to straight. So a lot going on. You're still pressing back with the right thigh, under and forward with the tailbone. Lifting the breath into the heart, maybe lifting the gaze. And then straighten the front leg, take a breath. Exhale, fold forward. And the arms can just hang down. They can rest on the shin. If you have props, you can rest them on the props, or if they reach the ground, that's fine. You just don't want too much weight in your hands. You want to be able to sink, and the weight in the hands keeps you up. You want to go down. And draw that left hip back and that right hip down. Just breathe long and slow. And then bend that front knee, hands to the ground, and bring the left hand to the inside of the left foot so that the arm or elbow is abutting that left knee and inner thigh. You really want to have some pressure there to keep that left hip open. And then we'll rotate. Really peel the right ribs up and the left ribs under you. Let the breath help you make that space and that movement. And push into the left foot and lift up. Windmilling, right hand back, left arm lifts. Exhale, lean it back. Keep the front knee bent. Exalted warrior. Breathing into it. And then coming into onto our thigh. Index finger to thumb. Taking the right arm up. I don't know if I remember to say this on the other side, but go ahead and reach the arm overhead as well. Pressing back through the right foot and forward through the right hand. And then bring that right arm behind your back. Gaze down at the floor. Step the back foot up a little bit. And then bring the left hand to the ground at about 10 o'clock above the foot. Lift the back foot, try to get it parallel to the ground. And then same thing. Take those left ribs under you, move them to the right. Lift the right arm up to the sky. And then if you have the balance, lift your gaze up to your right thumb. And bring the right hand down, bend the knee, step the right foot back, step the left foot back, coming into downward dog, or if you're needing a rest, child's pose. Pull the shoulders down your back. And be really active in your fingers, sending the hips back. If you're in child's pose, you can be in the passive version with your arms alongside the body, just resting. If you're in downward dog, just alternate pressing down one heel and lifting the opposite hip, not by bending the knees though, just kind of stepping the hips up and down. You'll feel that in your feet as well. Don't bend the knees. Just getting some movement in the sacrum. And then if you're in child's pose, come up and join us into a plank. And if plank is not in your wheelhouse, then modify it by bringing your knees to the ground. Good. Good. Now lift your hips just the tiniest bit, like an inch. And then aim your tailbone for your hands and aim your lower ribs for your toes. You feel that abdominal crunch. Bend the elbows and lower slowly down. Coming all the way to the ground. Keeping the hands by your sides. Elbows by your sides. Breath slow and steady. Notice how the body breathes with the earth. And then lift your chest, lift your head, push into your hands, and lift your legs off the ground, coming into upward dog. And if that's just not doable for you, then you can go ahead and just bring your knees on the ground instead. We're on the tops of the feet. And then we're going to bring the ribs forward, the shoulders back, and the eyes up. My legs are not touching the ground. Press down into the hands, get even higher. Bring the knees down and send the hips back. Pressing forward with the hands. Nice long, active metta pose. Stretching the spine. Okay. Lift your buttocks off your heels, spread your fingers, curl the toes. Just one quick transitional downward dog, lifting the knees. And then walk the hands to the feet. Roll yourself up. Inhale out. Exhale down. Stand for a moment in stillness. And shift the weight into the left foot. Open the eyes. Place the right foot right in front of the left foot. Inhale the arms up, interlacing the fingers except the index fingers. Exhale, hips to the left, torso to the right. Gazing in front of you and off to the left to counterbalance. Lean to the right. Feel the ground through the feet and lift through the ribs. Center, release. Stay with your breath. Step the right foot back. Feel the right foot settling in. And then place the left foot in front of the right. Inhale, arms up, taking steeple mudra. All the fingers interlace except the index fingers. Lift tall, inhale. Exhale, hips to the right, butt. Gazing left to the right to counterbalance. Slow breath up under those ribs. Feel your toes working to establish your stability. Exhale, step back, down, shoulders. So we're going to do the final right angle. So we laid on our back with our legs up in the air. We sat on the ground with our body up in the air. We were in downward dog. It's basically this shape in various different postures, and we'll just do the last one. And we'll take the arms up and then exhale and bend forward halfway until the body is parallel to the ground. The hips stay over the feet. The hips reach back and the head reaches forward. If you're not able to do it with the arms out in front of you like this, shoulders don't work, you can bring the arms out to the side or even behind you is easier. And then fold forward. Keep the legs straight, the head down. Let's make a box with our arms, taking the opposite elbow with the hands and framing the head with the arms, and then just pulling the elbows down toward the floor. And then pull the knees and thighs up toward the hips. And then just reach and lean a little bit over to the right, pulling back the left hip. And reach and lean over to the left, pulling back the right hip. it from center down. Release the hands, bend the knees deeply, lower onto the buttocks. The arms can be out in front, a little harder on the chest, harder still up here. Tuck the chin and lower slowly down. And then we're going to come into our plow pose, pulling the knees into the chest, rocking on the spine. We're going to have the legs go all the way over the body toward the floor behind us, supporting the hips with the hands. And then one shoulder at a time, kind of tuck the shoulders under you. If the toes touch the ground behind you, then lift the thighs toward the sky. Then if the toes touch the ground, you can also opt to clasp your hands together. If your toes do not touch the ground, do not clasp your hands together, please. Continue to hold on to your hips. Don't turn your head from side to side at all. And press back through the heels. Feel the breath passing through the thinness of your throat. And let the knees bend toward the forehead and slowly lay your spine down, bringing the lower back onto the hands. The hands face down on the ground, legs up in the air. Slowly lower the legs down with control. Deep breath. Once the legs come down, just rest them there. Keep the hands exactly where they are. Press into the elbows, lift the chest, dropping onto the top back of your head. Press into your elbows and really lift those back ribs. And breathe into your lungs. The best posture for your lungs right here. Fish pose. Lift your head. Lower yourself back down. Hug the knees to the chest. Lift the forehead to the knees. Squeeze yourself into a nice tight ball. Lower your head back down. Open the arms out to the side. Drop the knees to the right. Turn your head to the left. Sink the right hip into the ground. Breathe up toward that left shoulder. Relax the shoulder down. And then lift the left knee up and over. Bring the right knee up and over. Turn your head to the right. Knees to the left. Sinking down into the left hip bone. Relaxing the legs. Slowing the breathing down. Feeling it rolling all the way up under those right ribs to the right shoulder. And relaxing the right shoulder down. Inhale, right knee center. Exhale, left knee center. Take a breath in. Exhale, squeeze the knees in a little more. And then return the feet to the ground. Lift your hips, tuck your tailbone, knees down. Release the legs, shake them out. Send the arms out to the side. Maybe place an eye pillow in your eyes if you have one. And let everything come to stillness. Breathe deeply into your belly. Feel everything expanding. And exhale out of the mouth, letting everything sink into the ground. Deep breath in. And out through the mouth, releasing the jaw so the top teeth don't touch the bottom teeth and the lips part slightly. Inhale deep. Exhale out of the mouth, letting go of the activity of the mind. No before, no after. Just now. And in the now, there's breath. You can feel that breath. Just as we can't control the moment, we can practice fully being in the now of the breath by letting go of the breath as well. Just allowing life to move through now, fully present to it. Not to fix it, not to judge it. Be it. Just letting life move. Deep breaths. Let it go. Breathe into your heart, fingers and toes. Reach your arms overhead, take a deep breath, stretch long. Put the knees to your chest and rock side to side, massaging the back. Come center, rub hand to hand and foot to foot. Roll on to either side. Rest your head on your underside arm. Rest your body on the ground. You can continue to rest your attention in the now. It's now. And then slowly start to lift yourself up. Come back, come fast. Sitting in any comfortable seated position. Sinking down to the sit bones, lifting tall through the crown of the head. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, the hands together at the heart. Inhale, the heart up to the hands. Exhale, shoulders. Inhale deeply, breathing in from bottom to top. Take it all in. Chin to the chest.